Welcome to the School of Morton podcast. I'm Scotty Campbell with WWE Hall of Fame inductee Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express. Hello, Ricky.
Hello there, Scotty. It's another week, and boy, did it go by quick. You know, Robert and I, we're up in Pittsburgh this weekend. Man, what a great time we had. And remember this is true. This is the old saying that Ricky Morton always says. They were hanging off the rafters. Place was packed. We had a great time. Great promotion we worked for. Looking forward to going back. Matter of fact, I had my buddy up there, and I always enjoy having him as Tito Santana.
Man, Matador.
Yes, but man, you got to know Tito, man. He is, highly educated, but man, is he funny. Gosh, I had a great time. Me and him sat back there, and we talked and reminisced for a long time, and just want to tell everybody up there in Pittsburgh, thank you very much for coming out. Thank you very much for remembering. Promotion was great.
And this week on WWE Monday Night Raw, wow, the world is talking wrestling. They're talking about Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, but the names are changed to protect the innocent, I guess. I don't know. Instead of being deleted, he's being...
Now he's talking about deletion.
Deletion.
And instead of being broken, Matt Hardy is woken.
Wow. A lot of rights out there in this business, isn't it? I think it's great. It's just bringing out different characters and different things into people instead of seeing the same old guy. And it's earlier, you asked me a question, and somebody wrote in, if you just somebody out. And one of my greatest buddies in this wrestling business, matter of fact, I named one of my sons after him early because he was one of my best friends, Brad Armstrong. And people ask me many times if Brad Armstrong could have cut a promo like his dad or his brother, Road Dogg, which is Brian Armstrong, the sky would have been a limit. But the sky was the limit to Brad. Maybe Brad wasn't that good. But if you do Brad, just him being him. Brad is one of my all-time greatest workers in the business. But he's one of my best friends I ever had. And when the world lost Brad Armstrong, the wrestling business lost one of its greatest assets, I think, to the business. Brad was my buddy. Brad was a great worker, and people could say what they want to. Gosh, you had so many people. You had so much things going on, especially in WCW. You had a lot of people in control that thought they knew everything about our business, but really didn't know nothing. And sometimes when they can break your stride, break your heart. Don't want you just don't look at the business like you used to look at it no more because they took that away. But Brad was great. He's my friend. Love him.
He had fire about him all the time, every time I was ever around him.
Somebody said about Tommy Rich, fired up.
Exactly. Now, we've also received a comment asking about the drop kicks that Brad Armstrong delivered so many times in his career and how that may compare or not compare to the Rock and Roll Express.
Oh, man. Me and Robert did a double drop kick. But Brad Armstrong could stand flat. And I was watching Brad Armstrong work at Ernie Ladd. And I don't know if you ever met Ernie Ladd or not, or when he was alive. Gosh, mighty, he had to be 7 foot tall. And I never forget, I'm watching the match, and Brad Armstrong drop kicked him in the head that tall. I mean, it was really phenomenal to see
Big
that.
Cat.
I'm trying to talk like a sophisticated my old country behind. But it was great.
And back to this week's WWE Monday Night Raw, the women's division.
Well, I see Paige return, having a match after about a year. And, man, did her and Sasha Banks really tear the house down. And I got to hand it to you, man. I love the women wrestlers. And guys, you understand this. These girls are phenomenal as they get in the ring. I'm not talking about Natty and all of them. And what a match they had on WWE. And to come back with a match like that on TV, in which Paige went over. Good thing. They probably got a lot of good plans for a lot of good stories, man. And I appreciate a good wrestling match. And I sure do at another one, but that's really hot out there on the circuit. Guys, I look forward to seeing her as Tessa Blanchard. All I see is big things for her coming up. The daughter of Tully Blanchard. I think she's over in Australia right now. She's on a world tour. But I tell people always be prepared. Always prepare yourself for the unexpected. And I think the world's going to be really shocked when Tessa Blanchard hits the big screen, man. She's unbelievable great. And then, second generation, just like Charlotte, Ric Flair's daughter. Look what she became in this business. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. She scares me, you know. She'll beat you up.
She's in shape.
Yeah, oh, man.
Mercy.
I had the chance to talk with her a little bit over in Greensboro when Robert and I were there. And, man, just couldn't believe how ripped, cut, in shape she is, man. It's, you know, this business is not a joke. It's not a game. It's a lifestyle. And it's like Rick says, to be the man, you got to beat the man. To be the girl, you got to beat the girl. Yes. Speaking of that, Scotty, everybody knows we got the nature boy coming on in a little while.
Yes, we do. The one and only Ric Flair is going to be on with us here in just a little bit. Now, Ricky Morton, you've got me to thinking about the ladies of professional wrestling. Those that we've seen lately. Sasha Banks versus Paige on Raw this week, as we talked about. Natty versus Charlotte at WWE Starrcade recently in the cage match. But I also want to look back a little bit for just a minute. You had Mae Young and Moolah, Luna Vachon and sensational Sherry Martel, and so many others that you've been around in the business, been on the same cards with over the years. Any thoughts about how it's changed?
Well, our business might have changed, but it just progressed to be better. I remember some of the last wrestling ladies, like you were talking about, Moolah and Cora Combs, Sarah Lee. These people you might not even heard of. But these lady wrestlers, oh my goodness, you didn't mess with them, especially Moolah. They were all tough. You know, it's like Adrian Street had Miss Linda with him, which is his wife. And Lord behold, Scotty, you just don't even realize how tough this lady was. You know, they talk about Adrian Street, you know, being a shooter and stretching you. And at that time, with the gimmick that he had, I guess he had to be. But his wife was just as tough as he was. It's unbelievable.
Let's go back to the 80s a minute, too.
All right.
Bambi and
Sarah Lee,
the Perfect 10 baby doll.
Oh, yes. Still, I just seen Baby Doll not long ago.
How's she getting along?
She's very happy. Married a good friend of mine, Chad, over in North Carolina. They doing good. Baby Doll, you know, she was the perfect 10, you know, but at the position that she had for NWA, she tore the world apart. You know, man, she was there with Ric Flair, you know, the Four Horsemen, Tully Blanchard, even with Dusty. Then, as our business changed, you know, you turn babyface. She's with Robert and I for a while, especially during the Great American Bashes. And I still see Baby Doll a lot. She does a lot for the Crockett Foundation, and Robert and I do too, you know, for Wounded Warriors. See her a lot.
And also, while we're on the subject of women in wrestling, Alexandria York with the York Foundation, Terry Runnels, early 90s, WCW. Timothy sent this message via Twitter. He said they had the potential with the Richard Morton gimmick for the York Foundation Ensemble. How did it feel working as a heel at that point in your career?
To tell you the truth, in our business, time it ran out. Robert got hurt at the time. And that's what people don't understand. Robert got hurt. He had to take some time off with his leg, and I'm stuck there. I don't have a job. All the potential things that I did do, I put them on hold. But, you know, I still got to wrestle. I have to do something. So they turned me with Alexandria York, Terry, and Curtis Hughes at the time. It was different. If you're a true babyface, it's hard to be a heel. It's hard to really focus on that heat. And I guess I was just a true babyface. I didn't like it, really. Tell you the truth, I didn't. Didn't like being a heel. But there's a lot of guys that don't like being baby faces either, you know. You know, like Bobby Eaton. Bobby Eaton hates being a baby face. He loves to be a heel, you know. And I guess that's the reason our chemistry worked together so good.
And it sure did. All right, Ricky Morton. Question from Jeff. Would you agree that Uncle Ivan Koloff should be in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Do I agree? I certainly most agree. You know, Ivan was a WWF champion at one time. Ivan was the workhorse of the Russians. You know, it was hard to understand, you know, especially, you know, Nikita Koloff was just breaking into the business. And every night we had to do, especially when you come in, we beat them for the world titles, and the business was different. You know, we went to the towns, you didn't have 20 matches. And our matches went hours every night. And a tag team, and, you know, and Ivan, when you have somebody as green as Nicky was then, it was hard. I mean, to get him, just as time went on, he got better. But Ivan was the workhorse. He, not only that, Ivan's a great credit to our business. All the good things. There's nothing bad that you can say about Ivan. Yes, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
How is he at generating heat during the Jim Crockett Promotions time period.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, you got to see what's really cool. Dusty was smart, and he kept up with the times. And this is what we lost in our business. We had a lot of heat with Russia at the time. The United States did. This is in the early 80s and mid-80s. We're back and forth and, the communism and all this stuff. And Ivan with his interviews. And believe it or not, I think Ivan's from Canada. He was Canadian. But this is how you changed our business, Look at Nikita Koloff. He's from Minnesota. Barry Dorso, Minnesota. But, it's just the part about being the characters in our business. God, they were great. But yes, definitely, Ivan Koloff should be in the Hall of Fame.
Jeff also had one more question for us. Settle an argument for me. Would Dusty Rhodes have turned Magnum heel if there had been no car accidents? And Jeff says that he thinks so and thinks it would have been money.
I was there, and you got to understand this. Jeff, and I want you to understand this, they were grooming Magnum TA to be the world heavyweight champion. They were grooming Magnum to beat Ric Flair for the world belt. That's the reason it came with us. Magnum had his car wreck, get his neck broke. Well, see, Rick didn't have nobody to work with, and that's when, if you noticed, I did the thing with Rick. Right place, right time. I always say this in the business. That's when I started working for him. It wasn't the part about turning Magnum heel. They were grooming Magnum to be the world heavyweight champion.
If you have a question you would like us to address, send it to @RealRickyMorton and @ScottyIsOn, both on Twitter. Also, check out these pages for more information about this podcast, past guests, future guests. Check out Facebook at The Babyface Ricky Morton, Facebook at School of Morton, and Facebook at Scotty on the Radio. Ricky Morton, December is here. 'Tis the season. Merry Christmas. And
sleigh bells ringing.
Are you listening?
Oh, yeah, man, guys. If you're looking to get somebody a special present for Christmas, let's go on Pro Wrestling Tees. Let's get them School of Morton shirts. Let's get the Rock and Roll Express shirts. Man, we have great sales, all kinds of great designs, man. Great Christmas presents.
ProWrestlingTees.com. Search for Ricky Morton when you get there. I get email alerts from Pro Wrestling Tees. You may want to sign up for those too, because they do have specials pretty frequently where you can get a discount.
Oh, yes, they do. They have great things. They even have the box that you can buy from them. And plus, I want to give a shout out too to Collar and Elbow. They got a great line going. Again, if you're out there, guys, and you're looking for a great wrestling ring, check out Monster Rings. Mike Samples, a good friend of mine, does a good job. Matter of fact, they make a lot of stuff for UFC. So check them out online. Monster Rings.
Ricky Morton, a lot of questions via Twitter coming in. I wanted to ask you some of these. First, a comment from Carl. He says he looks forward to this show each week, and we make his commute home more enjoyable. I'm glad we're able to put some smiles on some people's faces with this podcast, Ricky.
We can put smiles on them, a little laughter, too. You need to come down here, man, to where you from, Carl. Next time you let us know where you're from. Or maybe we can give you a big shout-out. You come down here to School of Morton, let Scully suplex you or something. I don't know.
Chucky, Tennessee.
No, man, it's great, guys. I love for people to come down. We have a lot of good stuff down here. It's a museum to me. I have a lot of great stuff hanging on the walls that you need to come and see. And, matter of fact, we're going to have Rick on here in a few minutes. And we're sitting here in my office, and I'm looking up at the wall. I got a WWE Raw, King of the Ring, Ric Flair on the front page of it, and people go, wow, that's autographed by Ric Flair. No, it's autographed by Reed Flair, his son. You know how special that magazine is to me? It's priceless. I just want to let everybody know that's just one thing that's hanging in my office. Right behind you, if you look, there's a poster from 1978, Southwest Wrestling, where I was wrestling Killer Brooks that night. I couldn't have been 20 years old. Poster that you can't have in 1978. Man, that's before Robert Gibson, even before Ken Lucas. Great memories. Come on down and check it out sometimes, guys.
The School of Morton, 2085 Chucky Highway, Chucky, Tennessee. You can see when the shows are on Facebook at School of Morton. Most of the time, at minimum, it's the first Sunday of the month at 5 p.m. Admission is only $5. You can see the building, see the school, see the rings, see the shows.
Hey, best $5 you ever spent.
That's what I'm talking about. And by the way, Carl also said he loves it when you say never stop dreaming.
Well, buddy, that's just what our whole life's about. I was fixing to say something, too, because we're right here in Chucky, and I want to give a shout-out to Greenville here, man. They won the state championship in football. And me, it's like me. I could have been a millionaire, Scotty, in this business, but I wasn't educated enough to really realize what was going on in my life. And I really say that to a lot of my students here, how important, because I still have a lot of them in school, how important your education is and how important it is to learn your public speaking. Scotty, if you guys, a lot of you don't even know who I'm sitting here talking to, this is Scotty Campbell. He has his own radio show, Bristol, Tennessee, 92.9. Scotty was Tennessee State representative. Yeah, and you got to understand how important your education is to make you got where you're at today, Scotty. But, it's how important it is. But never stop dreaming. Never stop believing in yourself. Gosh, and if you do that, it's just like giving up.
Never stop dreaming. Ricky Morton, before we get our guest, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, on, I want to go ahead and ask you. Jimmy Street asked this question. Who would you put on your top 4 in professional wrestling of all time on your Mount Rushmore?
Man, on my Mount Rushmore, well, the middle one, the one that would stick out the most would be Ric Flair. But the rest of them, there's not none I can pick. We live here where the Great Smoky Mountains are, and we have to find a mountain about 20 miles long to put everybody up there that I think. There's a lot of great ones, man. And I couldn't say that. But to me, Ric Flair is the best world heavyweight champion ever. Ric Flair is the best world heavyweight champion of all time. Ric Flair put a lot. Jerry Lawler's got a lot to do with our business, too. But, man, there's so many you could pick from. Hulk Hogan, John Cena. But like I said, it can go on and on. Bobby Eaton, Jimmy Cornette, Dennis Condrey, Stan Lane. Now, Rock and Roll Express. No. Hey, you got to ask me, really? You got to ask me, really, who I put up there? You don't think I'm going to put myself up there?
I'm going to put Ricky Morton up there 4 times. What you talking about?
Yes.
All right. Your chance to see Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express, along with his tag team partner, Robert Gibson, coming up this Saturday, December 9th at Sweetwater Gym in Thompson, Georgia, Viral Pro Wrestling.
Oh, yes, and if you get a chance to come out, and especially if you're really interested in our business, to see what it's really about, if you're just thinking about being a wrestler, come down. 2 o'clock that day, Robert and I will be putting on a seminar from 2 to 4. If you're interested, just come down and watch. It's really cool to attend to, just to listen to what you have to say. It's, our business is not what people think it is. It's hard. It's not about, just a Saturday night special. It's the little things in our business, what makes you a great worker. And Robert and I both will be there from 2 to 4. So if you get a chance, come on out and see us. And we'll be wrestling that night.
Bell time, 7 p.m., Saturday, December 9th. Then, La Follette, Tennessee, Southern Pride Championship Wrestling, 157 Myers Lane in La Follette, Tennessee, Saturday, December 16th, live.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there by myself that night, Robert. He'll be at his show down in Douglasville, Georgia. So if you're in Douglasville at the National Guard Arm, that's where Robert be. Well, I'll be looking forward to having a good time. It's just like my backyard. La Follette was a great part of Smoky Mountain Wrestling. It's been a long time since I've been to La Follette. Looking forward to coming there.
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, Ricky, it's Rick. This is Scotty Campbell.
I'm just kidding.
All right, you're full of it today. Hey, listen, now, we're going to do this podcast.
I was going to dial tone the guy and put block caller ID.
Oh, hey, I would have had a heart attack. Hey, you hear me?
Our guest at this time, 2-time WWE Hall of Famer, Nature Boy Ric Flair on the School of Morton podcast. Hello, Rick.
How are you doing?
We're doing well.
Hello, Ricky. I'm doing great.
The School of Morton. I like that.
Man, I wish you could come here sometimes, man, to see what I built up here.
I've been to that town too many times.
Yeah, but you never slept.
And if they don't hire me for Coach Tennessee, they're crazy.
I think somebody posted that the other day.
Yeah, they sure did.
I saw the story myself, actually.
Yeah, they sure did.
After the road UT Vols have had, they're wanting a new direction, Ric Flair.
Yeah, Jesus. Unbelievable, huh? One of the most prestigious programs of all time, having experiencing this difficulty.
Well,
So,
you know what, Rick? I'm going to get right down to it. Gosh, I had such a great time over at Starcade in Greensboro.
oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah, wasn't it though, man? And it's great to see your daughter, Charlotte. We was just talking about her earlier, especially the women in professional wrestling these days. Wow, what phenomenal athletes and entertainers these guys are. And Charlotte's come a long way, Ricky. I just couldn't, we was talking about earlier. I said I had to watch what I say to her because I was scared she might whoop my butt. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, man. Tough girl. I like that.
She wouldn't be afraid to wade in, let me tell you that.
I got you. But you know what, Rick? You came in the room, and I know I'm talking here on the podcast, and it's the first time I heard my wife say the 4-letter word in a long time is when you raised your shirt up and showed us your battle scars. Man, tell the fans and tell us about Rick, about what happened to you, man. Wow, man. Unbelievable.
Well, I had been drinking. Shocker. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
And, a friend of mine came in town from Dallas, and we had been out all day the day before, and then again in the morning before I flew back. And then that afternoon, about dinner time, I got this really sharp pain in my stomach, and I'd had that same pain 3 years ago, and I let it go. And I actually had a ruptured appendix 3 years ago that if I'd waited another 30 minutes, it would have killed me. So anyway, I knew the pain, and that was very similar to the pain I had the last time. So Wendy took me to the hospital, and my colon had busted open, or my intestine had broken open. And that's the last thing I remember. I don't remember anything else. And then on Monday, they put me in an induced coma, and I stayed in that and on life support for 11 days.
Wow, Rick.
I don't remember any of it. I woke up to not remembering anything.
Well,
I just dreamt. Yep, I just dreamt.
It's unbelievable because, like I was saying, I seen you battle scars.
Yeah, this one's a little different, huh, man?
Wow.
Well, let me tell you something. Wendy stayed with me in ICU every day. She got what's called, seriously, ICU psychosis. And she never left my room for 11 days.
She's really good.
Yeah.
But, Rick, to me, man, I didn't call because you're Ric Flair. You probably had 1 million phone calls. You probably had this.
Well, I didn't have my phone for 2 months. WWE took it away from me. And then when I got released from the hospital, they checked me into a place because I had to learn how to walk again. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything.
I didn't know none of that.
Yeah, I couldn't twist the top off a Gatorade bottle or open a Diet Coke. I lost 43 pounds. So, I mean, they put me into a physical rehab, not a alcohol rehab. I had already done that gig. That really worked.
I noticed, yeah, but I noticed when we was over there at night because I've been around you a lot, and I know your diet routine. That's the first. I think that night was the first time I ever seen you eat a piece of bread.
You know why? Because bread, actually, which I don't like bread, but it helps me digest my food. Now, because while I have this elastoma, which is like a colostomy bag, but attached to my intestine, I got to be very careful. I got to chew my food real carefully. It can get plugged up, and if it does, it's hard to explain how rough it is.
But Rick, getting past that, because I have a lot of people ask me, have you ever partied with Ric Flair? And I tell them, no, I never done that. I never been nowhere with Rick, and because a lot of times when people ask me stuff, Ricky, I don't even answer them because if I did tell them, they don't even believe you. They look at you like you're crazy. But what I'm trying to explain to them is that's just one night. That was just one night.
Look at me now. That's the result of all those nights.
Oh, look at all of us. I was, just for instance, and for all the fans out there to know, Rick flew me. Me and him were in New York. We went out for your birthday. I don't know if you remember this or not, Rick.
Sure I do. Chuck Berry.
Yes, we sure did.
At the Lone Star Cafe.
We sure did. And I was telling people, now this is Ric Flair. You got to be with Rick. I think he gave $2,000 for 4 seats.
500 apiece.
Yes, we had some ladies of the night, and we go to sit down, and Chuck Berry calls us on stage, and we never sit down in the chairs.
I know.
We never sit down.
Hagstrand and Dusty came too, remember?
Yes, I do. You know what?
Yeah.
Dan
It was
Aykroyd
Dusty's
was there.
idea.
Dan Aykroyd was there that night, too. You remember that?
Liza Minnelli and
Yes.
Dan Aykroyd and the other guy, Bill Murray. They're all there.
And now, you see, and this is what I'm saying to you. If I'm sitting down talking to somebody, and I'm telling them this story, they're looking at me, well, you liar. That's just one night.
Did you notice how Ric Flair said it was Dusty's idea?
Oh, yeah. Hey, we got to put the heat on somebody.
I only survived that because I didn't drown falling off my boat that night. You came back and got me.
Oh,
Have you ever heard that story?
no.
Greatest story in the world. And I don't mind saying, and Ricky don't get offended when I say this, I come into a bar, Whispers, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and Ricky and his, at the time, wife Beth, they were fighting like hell. And I don't know, everybody's drinking. So Ricky comes to me, and he tells, Scotty, this is just one night now. Okay, this is another night. There's no telling him no. Let's go to my boat. Go to your boat. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. No, we go to my boat. So me and the lady of the evening, we get in the back of his Mercedes, and we're going to the lake, and we're late, I guess, because we're doing 120 miles an hour.
Freddie Floyd, the pilot, was driving the boat. Remember?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Now hold on a second. How do you become late going to the lake?
Because we're doing 120 miles an hour. That's what I'm saying.
On 49 back then, you could drive like hell. This is the 80s now.
Yeah, so we get to the lake, and Ricky, I thought we was going out on a boat, just a boat, because I didn't want to go. I get there, and his boat's too big for the lake. Man, Ricky, you had a big yacht, buddy. I'm talking. This thing's...
You know, it was a 35 Sea Ray Sundancer. Yeah, that was a big boat back then.
Yes, but it was 4 stories high, I think. I don't remember, because me and you've been drinking. And Rick
Rick could sleep 6.
Yeah.
And 3 beds in it, so yeah.
Yes. Sleep 6. Gotcha.
Yes. Yeah. Once we get out and we're driving, it's pitch black. You can't see nothing. But the boat's lit up. And Rick asked me, he goes, well, Rick, and at the time, this is a big deal. You had satellite TV put on your boat, and you was taking me upstairs to see. And we come out on the thing upstairs, and Rick goes up this ladder, and I'm holding on to the ladder, and all of a sudden, Rick slips, and I hear boom, 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 and he does about 12 cartwheels off the side of the boat.
Oh, no.
And I'm holding on, and I'm looking down, and you hear, and then I'm thinking, damn.
Pitch black.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, damn, I'm glad that wasn't me.
Oh, wow.
No.
Well, we heard the steering was on so loud, nobody knew I fell off except you.
Yes, but I had to go tell everybody. And I'm telling them, I says, Rick fell off the boat. They said, where? I said, I don't know where, back there. Man, we're going down the lake.
Yeah, it was pitch black, too.
Finally get the boat turned around. Make it short. I mean, we tried everything. I threw one of them things to him that didn't have a rope on it over his head.
Well, I had a spotlight on it, but I was trying to figure out my way. It was about a mile to the shore each way, maybe a little less. So I was trying to figure out which was closer when you guys found me.
Yeah, and this is true. You got to know, this is Ric Flair. He had a $2,000 suit on. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and he fell off, and I finally get him in the boat. And I remember that's when you and Beth were fighting, and I'm sitting there, and I went, holy shit, excuse my language. But I pulled Rick in the boat. He had a necktie on, one sock, and his underwear. That's all he had on.
Yeah, I let go of everything else.
And you laid in the floor, and for an average man, you had to tread water for 30 minutes. You had to just to find you. And I never forget, Beth, Ricky goes, God, I'm lucky. And I never forget, Beth goes, yeah, you lucky I made him turn around and come back and get you. I never
Oh,
forget
my goodness.
that.
Wow.
But no, it's Rick. I'm always drunk, buddy. We've been drinking, People say a lot of stuff. But it was funny at the time. Rick?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was in Greensboro when we was at Starcade, and it's like deja vu. They redone a lot of the building, but a lot of it was still there. And I walked down in the back dressing room, and I sat down. I seen you come through the door, but it was in my mind when we shot the angle and you rubbed my face in the floor.
Yep.
It's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is still there. And then we had a guy that asked on the podcast here earlier, and I meant to tell you this. I didn't know if I had told you this or not. And when we're on TV and you bring out the little training bra, and I slap you in your glasses and I step on it and crush it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this or not. Well, I kept that training bra, and I got your glasses that's busted up in a paper sack. Do you know that?
I didn't know that, no.
That was one of the greatest moments of my life.
Which one of your girlfriends you give the training bra to?
I wear it myself every now and then. Boy, you're stiff. I'm telling you, bro. You're going to have to loosen up here now.
Oh, Ric Flair, I've never seen Ricky Morton turn this many shades of red. I just have to tell you right now, okay? I mean, in the art of full disclosure.
For every story he can tell about me, I got 2 on him.
Oh, no. Oh, but you know what? It's all right. I married my girlfriend in the business. I don't got to hide nothing. You hear me?
Yeah.
Listen at you.
And that's what makes me happy, you know.
Yeah, that's what I should have done.
Yeah.
I missed the opportunity, but, things worked out great for everyone involved. At the end of the day, we're together. She just had her 32nd birthday yesterday. She's of age now, Ricky.
What cool. Ricky.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. I got that.
It used to be 18 to 28. Now it's 25 to 32.
Oh, yeah.
That's the 2017 update right there.
Yeah, but if you put it Rick's way with mine, it was 10 through 12, wasn't it? I don't know. No, it's the way. I'm just kidding. You got to watch what we say nowadays. They take it seriously. I told my wife the other day, I said, heck, I can't even open the door up for you no more. I get accused for sexual abuse. But
yeah. How about Matt Lauer? God.
I'm telling you, unbelievable. So many people, so many scandals going on.
$25 million a year salary. Are you kidding me?
Gone.
Who could blow that deal?
Wow. I mean, it's amazing at everything that's going on. I got now, Rick, I don't even want to watch TV anymore, especially the news.
I wonder if there's any chance John Cena might be on the Today Show a little more. He's been in a key role there a few times. I know he's a busy man.
I know he'd love that role.
Yes, and done really well in it, I thought.
I think John would do very well with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
never know.
He's backing himself further away from the business, which and he's clearly he's been the flagship for so long. I don't blame him for
say he's easing out of the business a little bit, Rick.
No, I say he's easing back on his schedule, not the business. That makes sense?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, he's doing more stuff independently, which, he's worked hard to build that brand. Why not, enjoy some other things besides being on the road every weekend? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
He's still very active. He's still, I'd have to say, even on a part-time basis, he's still their poster boy for everything. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes, he is.
John, he's so highly thought of by everybody.
Oh, yes. I mean, as the business even changes, you have that one work dog that you got for you. And I always see when they get lost, they go right back to him. That's a great compliment. That used to be Ric Flair, though, buddy. Ric Flair.
Yeah.
When you draw a house, just bring Ric Flair in. Yeah.
You better believe it. Well, Ric Flair, a question was sent to us wanting to know, as a father, at this point in time, how does it feel to see Charlotte's success in WWE?
I'm on record as saying this 100 times. I'm more proud of her accomplishments than of anything I've ever accomplished, because she's, it just was nothing that was designed or put in place until 2012, and she's come a long way. To me, she's, I think, in a class of her own. I think that last year, she and Sasha had matches which will never be duplicated. It was like me working with Ricky or working with Steamboat. I mean, they were that good, and they were, 2 women. So can't say enough. It's a lot of the girls are so nice, and a lot of great talent. But it's hard to match not only her talent, but you take that with her athletic ability, and she's just come so far. And to be 5'11", to do all this stuff she does off the top rope because of her gymnastics background is simply amazing. So I couldn't be proud of her. And she can talk, and she's got attitude. And it took her a while to find her niche, but when she found it, the rest is history. She actually has a role in a movie that's going to air Thursday night.
Oh, really? What is that?
Psych, the movie. Remember the TV show Psych?
Yes.
It's called Psych, the movie. It's on Thursday night, 8 o'clock on USA.
Well, I'll make sure I watch it.
I want to talk about the new book, Second Nature, The Legacy of Ric Flair and the Rise of Charlotte. I've seen some fantastic reviews, and I'm going to place my order tonight.
Please do.
Secondnature.com is the website. The most direct link to it, as I understand it, and RicFlairShop.com. So I wanted to throw those out there for people to check that out, too.
Yeah, is this
Thank
book,
you
Rick,
very much.
is this about after you have quit wrestling and then Charlotte came along? Okay, great.
Yep.
I'm looking
And
forward
it
to
talks
it.
about her finding her way, and it talks a lot of personal stuff about my life and my two last marriages, which were a disaster. It's really open. I mean, both of us are very open about personal things, and it's a great read.
Well, I can't wait to read it because,
Thank you.
I've been meeting Rick, and I've been trying to write a book myself. I might get some help from you, but every time I get it just one place, I forget something and leave it out. And did you have that problem? These things that you forgot?
Yeah, well, it's finding the time to sit down with the author, and then you think about what you said, and you go back and you want it rewritten. It took 2 years. She was traveling, and I was traveling with her for a while. Then I'm off the road now, except for the personal stuff I do. I'm not on the road that much with the company anymore, it's different now. They don't have, the kids can't have any fun. When you and I were in the business, it wasn't like work. We didn't even look at it like work. We just went and wrestled, and then we had fun. But we had fun wrestling too, so there was never any downtime. So
not for any of us. But I don't reminisce. I don't say that I walked 20 miles to my first wrestling show. I didn't do none of that. But our business were different back then, Rick. You know that. It was, buddy, we got paid by how many butts were in the seats.
Yep, exactly.
And he worked twice as hard. And I got to say, man, I've been through them all of them. And Scotty and you and some of the fans, people don't even realize that Rick and I won 9-hour matches in 1 week. But what I'm trying to say is if you come to see Ric Flair, no matter who he was wrestling, especially me, you got your money's worth. I'm thinking, God, can't we go 20 minutes?
Yeah.
No, we're going hour.
That was actually, you can blame Dusty for those.
When it wasn't an hour Broadway, we still went 55 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Hey, if you're having fun, why cut it off, right? I could have used less time in the bar.
I seen Tito Santana this last weekend. I was up in Pittsburgh. We were sitting there talking about the matches from those days and just how different everything was and how hard you had to work. And you had to give, if you didn't give the people the money's worth, they didn't come back. And it was something to sell a building out, not just once a month or once every 6 months. You did it every week in a lot of our towns. Give me your take on what you think about the business today than our day.
Well, it's different. I mean, I know from personal experience, they work just as hard as we did.
Oh, yes.
They're on the road 325, 30 days a year. Well, the difference is that to me, is obviously the marketing is huge. The fact that it's harder to keep a television audience because of so much competition in the entertainment industry. But the biggest difference is just guys like you and I could have never existed. I could list 30 guys along with you and I, but since it's your podcast, I'll just focus on you and I rather than make everybody else mad. But we couldn't have. I wouldn't have made it a week. I'd be in jail and you'd be in prison.
But Rick, I asked that question for me.
I'd be in jail on my way to prison. You'd already be there.
But and I really, that question just come off the top of my head because I'm curious. I haven't been around a lot in the big businesses anymore.
Yeah.
I'm still out here on the independent circuit, and
Rick,
I'm 61 years old, and I still 3 or 4 nights a week I'm on the road, and it's killing me. So I can imagine these guys and it's not even about that with Scotty and the people that are listening. It's not the wrestling part; it's the traveling and everything else that goes along with it. Gosh, you 2 hours sleep here and 3 hours sleep there, and unless you was being Ric Flair, you never slept. Rick's not human. You know that, don't you?
We didn't like to sleep. Why sleep?
Well, you could sleep around here.
You know what's funny is I found somebody with the same level of energy as me. I mean, she went from the time she's up in the morning at like 6:30 with the kids, she doesn't go to bed. I can't get her to do anything except watch a little TV. Otherwise, she's on her feet or driving.
It's a many nights that I've been out
Yeah.
drinking with Rick, and you come strolling in at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm serious, and it's bed summer. I roll out of bed, go to the bathroom, and I'd peek out the back window, and Ricky would be out there doing squats out by the pool. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I never miss the pre-squats, man.
you did. You know what, Rick? And I'm proud of myself. I do 500 a day.
Yeah.
I get more out of that than anything.
Yeah, and that's why your knees aren't bothering you.
Yes, well, I do 500 a day. I really do.
Yeah.
I can.
That's good.
I told somebody the other day, I could still go. Matter of fact, I could still fly. Just my landing gears wore out. But
You know what you ought to do is you ought to get what kind of cigarettes you smoke.
I don't smoke, Ricky. I quit.
No, what did you use to smoke?
Marlboro.
Well, you got to put a Marlboro in your mouth and do 500 on a video and sell it.
Oh, yes.
And sell it. That'd be great, actually. Bringing out the oxygen mask, right?
what?
Take a drag every 100 and then put it in your ear.
Yeah, but
Do 100 more, take a drag and blow it out.
you're one of the reasons that I quit smoking. And I'm serious.
Yeah.
I tell everybody that. Oh, yeah. Rick will say what's on his mind. And I like that. I love a man that will say what's on his mind.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Ricky walked up to me and told me, "You're brown and you smell like cigarettes."
Whoa.
Well, I knew you pretty well. I didn't like, he wasn't brown, he was yellow.
Yes, you told me that.
I thought it was his liver, but it was the nicotine.
Yeah, it was nicotine. He told me that.
When you've known each other, 40 years or so, you can discuss those things.
Well, Scotty, you don't know Rick very well, do you?
It didn't ever affect his weight or anything. Like, look at Jack Briscoe. He smoked every day of his life, too.
Yes.
And Jack never took a deep breath. He still hasn't. And, you know what I mean?
Well, I
people
got
can
you.
Get away with it, but it's just rough on you, man. God.
I know
It's-
it. It took me years, and and I look back and I wonder, why in the heck did I ever do that for?
Well, look at me. I dipped skull for 35 years. Only thing
did.
that makes me feel good is Steamboat is still doing it. He's still dipping skull.
Is too. And
Yeah.
Ricky, I told this to Robert the other day. After you quit smoking, you can smell. I guess dipping too, you can smell real good. And Robert come up to me and told me, he says, I quit dipping. And I asked him, I says, really? I said, did you tell your girlfriend that? He said, yeah, I told her I quit dipping. I said, well, you go back to her and tell her that you're trying to quit, but you haven't. And he says, what do you mean? I said, Robert, I can smell it all over you, and I know she can.
It's hard to quit, man.
But he went back and told her, he says, well, I still dip. She says, I know, I smell it all over you.
Yeah, it's that nicotine, man. It's rough. I just quit. I started back up again, then I quit. I finally quit again when I was in the hospital 3 years ago. But I started in 77 with Steamboat. So,
But I was telling Scotty goes, that's good when you know somebody for a while, you could tell them anything. Scotty, you must not know Ric Flair really too good. He would tell you what's on his mind. He don't care who you are.
After working for Jim Crockett Promotions, Dusty Rhodes, and so many other promotions before going to the WWF, how did it feel when you rolled up on scene in 1991 in the World Wrestling Federation and spent time with Vince McMahon and other people, agents and such at that time?
that was awesome. I knew all the guys anyway. I had a chance to go earlier, but I declined because I was so happy there. But it wasn't like I went anywhere different, just working for somebody professional instead of a guy like Jim Herd. You know what I mean? If Crockett hadn't sold out the Turner, we'd still all be there.
Yes, sure would, Ricky. Sure would.
It wasn't Ted. Ted was great, but he hired people who didn't know anything about the business, and that was the downfall.
Yes, when Jim Herd come in and he brought the Ding Dongs in from Bellsville, I knew it was time for me to go. I know Rick went to WW. I went to Smoky Mountain. I could not comprehend some of the people they had in WCW, Ricky. I remember Jim Herd called me in the office, and I thought he was going to give me a raise, and he got on to me for doing a front head scissors. He told me I stole it from Scotty Steiner. So I knew then, but it's time to go.
For a victory roll?
Yes. He told me I stole it from Scott Steiner. And I asked him, I said, who told you this?
WCW years went by the wayside. You both put years in there, really.
Rick, he built WCW. It came from NWA. Ricky built it.
Absolutely.
And then to just have somebody I don't know how you feel, Rick, just tear your legs. I got in The real reason I left there, and I just can't tell you the truth, is when they brought Jeff Jarrett in, and they wanted me to put Jeff over with the figure four, and I wouldn't do it.
Put who?
Jeff Jarrett over with the figure four, and I wouldn't do it. I says no. I mean, I have wrestled Ric Flair hours. I had figure four put on me where I sewed it and got this over, and you just want me to go out and put Jeff Jarrett on TV over with the figure four? Tell him, hell no. Excuse me, I'm not going to do it. And that's just the part of it. I didn't give up for it for the world heavyweight champion of the world, which we drew money. I'm damn sure ain't going to give it up for him. Sorry, Ricky. I just
No, that's right. I didn't realize that. I think you told me that story. I'd forgotten that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not being mean, but I'm not going to. So a decision came. I just left.
I'd made the mistake of letting him talk me into cutting my hair, and I hated myself the next day. So that was the beginning of the end.
And Ricky, if you don't,
you live and you learn, right?
Yes, you sure do. But I'm happy. I
am too. I look back on it now.
Yes, I might not be the richest guy in the world, but I'm the happiest. I could promise you that. I have one of the.
That's all that matters.
Yes, it is.
Trust me. After where I've been, man, each day is a gift.
And I know that. Now I'm going to say something here, and I hope I don't. I'm sitting here in my office, and I might have told you this before. Right here behind me, I got encased stuff here, and I have the King of the Ring, WWE Raw magazine. And a lot of people come in and they notice it, and what they notice about it, it's priceless to me. You understand me?
The one in the gold robe?
Yes, you sure are. But it's autographed. And they tell me it's autographed, but Ricky, it's not autographed by you. It's autographed by your son, Ric Flair.
Yeah, God, he was a special young man.
Yes, I know, Rick. I mean, I couldn't imagine. Matter of fact, being Reed was tagging tonight, you told me I stunk. you was managing us. Me and Reed was partners that night. I don't know if down in Gastonia that night.
He loved him some Ricky Morton.
Well, and I loved him. And my son Kerry, my youngest son, gosh, him and Reed were tight, buddy, and it was cool to watch them, because they could relate to each other. But I just wanted to let you know that. It's a lot of people give me a lot of comments on that. Then when I tell them.
No, you told me that the other night in Greensboro. I'd forgotten that. I think you told me that a long time ago.
Yes, it really means a lot to me. And
yeah, well, thank you.
And I seen David not long ago, too. I think
good.
Well, he came down to Spartanburg out there. And well, you're talking about a clone. Gosh. Yeah. I mean, he walked right in, and wow, he looks like Rick. And it amazed me the other night how when I seen Dustin Rhodes, I said, damn, Dustin, you look just like your daddy.
Yeah, exactly.
And God, it brought back a lot of memories. Yeah. I was so proud that Dustin came out, and it's good, I think, for Starrcade out of Greensboro.
Yep.
Yeah, and they killed that town for a while. But I got to say, it was really good the other night. I mean, I hope that's a yearly thing they might start doing there.
Oh, I think they will.
Because the town deserves it.
They had 10,000 people, which was great.
Yes, I know. It was packed out there. It was really amazing, especially since they had, they had that WrestleCade right down the road.
Yes, yeah.
And they had a lot of people down there, too, but it wasn't nothing like Starrcade, though, buddy. They were live in there, man. That was cool.
It was good seeing everybody, and for Arn Anderson at this point to jump out in that ring and spend some time with Dolph Ziggler, what a moment he created.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was cool. I've got a couple of deals with the Four Horsemen in the beginning of next year. I'm looking forward to it. One with Barry and one with Lex. It's Tully, me, on JJ, and then Lex or Barry. It just for all the years we all spent together, it's like the last thing you want to do is hang around. Like, we're just the opposite of our generation. The last thing you want to do is spend time with a wrestler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I got you. I'm going to be on one of those shows, Waynesboro, the Night of the Four Horsemen.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Are you there too?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Good deal, yeah.
I'm going to have you hit the ring on me and put the figure four on me, and I won't give up. No,
I'm
just kidding.
We'd already planned on it. We'd already planned on hitting the ring and beating the shit out of both of you.
Gosh, man.
So it's the only reason I took the gig.
Yeah, I know it. Ricky Morton's going to be there.
The fine print right there.
Oh, and it's great. This is unbelievable now. I go, what you don't want to do is be standing out there when Ricky's talking. He gets up and talks in front of people. He'll see me and turn around and tell all the women to lock their daughters up. There you go.
Yeah.
You better get your daughters. Ricky
It's
Morton.
good advice. Good advice.
That I got.
Well, Ric Flair, I tell you, we could talk about so many things, but I think Ricky Morton and I both would like to know what advice you would give people. Whether they're a fan, whether they're in the business, in some role, maybe they're hungry, maybe they're not. Or perhaps just a person on the street, a fan that loves the business. What would you say about life?
About life? Oh, gosh. Well, obviously we have different ways of looking at that. But for me, I would say make the most of every day. And when you come close to losing that opportunity, it makes you realize all the more how lucky you are to have that opportunity. So make the most of every day, and taking a page out of Jimmy Valvano, that speech, and I can't remember the third component, but if you can find a reason to laugh, find a reason to cry, and I can't remember the third part of the equation, but my dad used to tell me that if you can find something to laugh about every day, you're never going to have anything to worry about. In terms of, my dad told me that one time I was real little. So if you get stressed out, and of course, now I'm literally married to a woman that laughs at her own jokes so hard, she makes everybody laugh.
Yeah.
and her youngest daughter is a regular comedian. Let me give you an example. So I bought him a Bichon Poo about a year and a half ago, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's a little dog, and it drives Wendy crazy. And so she told her daughter that she was going to give the dog away, check him in. And her daughter said to her, well, we're just going to check you in.
Love it.
Yeah, because she's crazy.
Rick, I have people ask me every day, how you doing? And my answer is if I have a bad day, Rick, it's my own fault.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Hey, you know what? We do more stupid stuff than have now. That's what, to keep myself in check, I just really think about it. Nobody in the world believes I'll never have another drink, but I won't. That's because they don't know me. When I make up my mind to something, that's it. It's like if someone had said to me like a year ago, I'll give you $10,000 to quit for a month. Yeah, I would do it. But why would I quit? When everybody else is out on the golf course drinking, I just happen to be sitting in a bar, right? Now, because of what I went through, I'll never drink. And it's only because I won't survive another day. The doctor made it clear to me, brother, it's a miracle, and I won't even attempt to try if you start drinking again to fix it. It was that difficult. So that's all I got to hear. It's like I got a $500 bet now, and I'm going to do it on my 69th birthday. I got to do 100 push-ups without stopping.
Oh, wow.
In February, yep. And I'm going to do it.
Who you got to bet with?
A guy that I work with, a friend of mine.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. Now think about this. Guess how many I could do? You've seen me do 100 push-ups 100 times. Yeah, you have it, Ricky, at least.
Yes. How many are you doing now?
You've seen me do that. But I can't do it now. Guess how many I could do the first day?
How many?
1. That's how weak I am. So you tell me. Yeah.
Yeah, but you see, because I've been with you, I watched you go through a deck of cards.
Oh, yeah. When I deck the deck of cards, nobody can do that.
I used to watch you just.
38 minutes.
Yeah, but you do it, and it's just like it was nothing.
Yeah, I know.
And it would kill. I told you earlier, Scott, he's not from Earth. He's from somewhere else.
The deck of cards.
Yeah. Just a deck of cards.
Anybody that could sucker into that never did it again.
Yeah, but what they don't understand, when it was an ace or a face card, it was double. It wasn't just
double.
Yeah, he doubled.
Face card or 20.
Yes,
not 10.
They were doubles. Somebody asked me a question earlier. What would be my Mount Rushmore?
Oh yeah.
I said I can't answer that, but all I could do is put one up, and that would be Ric Flair.
Thank you, buddy.
No, Rick, you don't even realize. I told you a lot of people this, but Ricky Morton, dude, I got my PhD from Ric Flair. You just don't even understand how this man was in the ring, and to me, it's a compliment and it's a blessing for me. It's like I told you, I kept stuff because I knew that you're the greatest icon in our business, Ric Flair.
Thank you, buddy.
The greatest, and you're my friend, and you always been.
Are you working your way towards Wendy now on all these compliments?
Yes.
Is that where you're going with this? Because the answer is
no. But I just want to tell you.
I'll let her speak for herself.
Hello, Wendy.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Wendy.
Great.
Yes.
I was telling Rick earlier, and I didn't get to finish it. If I have a bad day, it's my own fault. But I don't know if it's because I got older and meddled out or the medication the doctor put me on. I don't know which one.
Listen to that shit. That's funny.
That's too funny. You guys are crazy. I can't wait to see you out there. I think we're going to be at another show soon, right?
Oh, yes, we sure are.
Waynesboro, yes.
Sure are in Waynesboro.
Oh, that's coming up. Yay. Well,
for everybody
I'll
know
give you back to the Nate because he's full of energy and alive and well. So here he is.
All right. Thank you very much, Wendy.
Yeah, we're just going to go in and buy her another birthday present. Don't let her. Jeez, are you kidding me? Why do you think I'm going to Wadesboro?
I got you. Did you hear what I told her, Ricky?
What?
You asked me how I was doing. I said, if I have a bad day, it's my own fault. But I don't know it's because if I got older and meddled out or the medication the doctor put me on. I don't know. Ric Flair, I love you. You have a wonderful day. Thank you for being on the School of Morton. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks for letting me be on it. And anybody that wants to learn how to wrestle, if you can get lessons from Ricky Morton, sign up.
Thank you, Ricky.
Okay, buddy.
She said, Rama, lama, bama, lama, rock and roll is cute.